Welcome back to Ozarks Fox AM. Today on Positively Kelly, I have an inspiring story about a guy who met tragedy with action and made the best of his circumstances. Now, Charlie Hamilton was determined to change his life after a heartbreaking year in 2017. His mom, Jan, died at the age of 53 from a motor neuron disease. His friend Will passed away at 22 from a drug overdose, and his adopted mom, Samantha, died of a heart attack. Now, that is a lot, to say the least. It was an awful time, Charlie recalls. He was living in Arnold, Nottinghamshire, with his pal Bandit, a ferret he had rescued from an animal shelter. He admits he really didn't know where to turn at that time. He was battling some severe depression, feeling really terrible about his life, and contemplating suicide. Now, Charlie decided that's not who he wanted to be. He didn't want these circumstances to define him, so he decided to turn it into something positive. Charlie turned his back on his whole promising career, sold his possessions, took his savings, and he and Bandit hit the road. In February 2018, he and Bandit traveled through Holland, Germany, Sweden, Norway, France, Spain, and Italy. They traveled 8 months straight to more than 25 towns and cities and documented all of their fun on Facebook. He took selfies with Bandit with iconic landmarks from the Eiffel Tower to Paris, in Paris to the Colosseum in Rome. Now, in November of 2018, Charlie wrote a book about his travels called Before Our Adventures, which you can now buy on Amazon. The book is all about how you can take something really bad and turn it into something really good. Everyone has the right to do that, he says. It's easy to get stuck in a rut, but he says you don't need to. Now, Charlie says traveling was the most amazing experience of his life, where he camped under the stars and followed the sun. It was beautiful, and he spent the time with his best friend. I have less money, he says, but I am a much wealthier person. Charlie now works in schools across the country teaching youngsters about how to build confidence, self-esteem, and outdoor living skills. I love this story. There's no doubt that Charlie had some horrific circumstances and that it would be hard for anyone to overcome. He just had to get out of town and get a fresh look at life, and in a way, it gave him a way to teach others to do the same. I think if we can offer some support to someone else or help them in some way, that takes our minds off of our own problems, circumstances, and even pain, even if that's just temporary. Losing people you love is never going to be easy. Whether that means a divorce, a breakup, or a death, loss is part of life, and it's something we all have to face. But having good friends is a must. People who love you and are in your corner no matter what, and staying busy is always a great idea. Now, Charlie's pet Bandit was a big support for him. As we all know, our pets help us through some really tough times. And last but not least, if you believe that there's a higher power that never leaves you and is always there to listen, this is a great comfort as well. I want to encourage you guys today that no matter what you're going through or facing, it is temporary. Everything is in this life, and it will get easier eventually. That's not to minimize anything that you're going through or your pain, only to let you know that it won't feel quite this heavy forever. And that is my Positively Kelly for today. Jer? He has to make his grand entrance. Yes. Hello.
Sorry.
Did you hear any of that?
I will be honest, I did not. I was looking at my rave review that's coming up. I apologize, but I did hear something about this is temporary. So it's true, like with pain, especially with the death of Kobe Bryant, people are saying life is short, it's fragile. He left his house. Didn't know that was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hug your loved ones right now.
Absolutely. Can you think of a time in your life that you were thinking it was really, really horrible and that you didn't know how you would get through it?
Absolutely. I don't know if I told the story on the show before, but I've told it to people before. It was a point in my life where I had left a show in Branson because of stress and drama, and it was negativity weighing on my soul, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I left a job without a job.
Yeah, that's
without something.
That's needing to get away.
I was completely broke, had no money to pay bills. I had to turn my house into a rental house to have income. The water heater went out, had to put a new water heater. I seriously had no money. I was laying on my backyard in the grass, crying, talking to God, saying, please send me a sign, because I don't know what I'm going to do.
And now, here you are, and when you look back at that circumstance, you realize, as daunting as it was, you made it through it, and
Yes.
life is good, right?
Absolutely. There's hills and valleys, and
right.
you got to pace yourself and know it's going to be good and it's going to be bad.
Absolutely.
And I went through that bad time, Kelly. It was so.
I know, you're
I was
better.
so upset.
You're better. You're better.
Yeah.
Hang in there, guys. You can make it through whatever you're going through. All right, more Ozarks Fox AM right after this. Don't go anywhere.
All I could do was lay there and cry, Kelly. That's all I could do.
I'll tell you what, if you left that job with no job,